Los Angeles police pulled over 161 cars that were never stolen in a period of just 2 months because a camera told them to. And here's the number the vendor puts in front of buyers. Flock Safety says its cameras can accurately capture 93% of the roughly 20 billion license plates that they scan every month. Now, obviously, there aren't 20 billion vehicles on the road, but it's counting all of the times it records the same car, same vehicle over and over again. 93% sounds like a rounding error that most agencies could live with, but that's also a massive problem. That's a 7% error record. And here's another thing. The Los Angeles Police Department Inspector General audited 2 months of actual stolen vehicle alerts. The ones that landed on an officer's screen triggered a decision. Of the vehicles flagged, 161 weren't stolen. That works out to a false positive rate of around 32%. Roughly 1 out of every 3 stolen vehicle reports in LA over a 2-month period weren't actually stolen. The Inspector General warned that the false alerts create the risk of unnecessary enforcement actions, including vehicle stops and wrongful detentions. 3 days after the audit published, Los Angeles let its 3-year contract with Flock expire. Roseville, California ran its own check on 1,427 alerts for vehicles flagged as stolen or linked to felonies. The department's analysis found the system had misread the plate in 71% of these cases. These two numbers are a massive conflict. And what there is, they're measuring different things, and that gap is the problem here. 93% from Flock is scan accuracy across every plate that the camera sees, including the millions that never generate any kind of an alert at all. 32% is the error rate on alerts that reach a human and produce an action. So a vendor quotes you the first number, and your liability is what's on the second one here. And this is a major problem when it comes to these safety cameras. They're popping up all over the place. I live in a relatively small community. They're popping up here, as I mentioned in the video this morning. These are a problem. 23 jurisdictions have voted to cancel, reject, or deactivate these Flock cameras just in 2026 alone. Not because the technology stopped working, because somebody finally measured what's actually happening with them. And here's where this becomes an issue. Flock cameras are now one of the most destroyed items in public infrastructure in America. And I can't say I'm sad about that.
The scariest part about the 18 cops so far found to use the Flock system to stalk their exes, but it wasn't just their exes they were stalking, and we're not just talking looking up license plates a couple of times. This one police chief in Kansas alone ran his ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend's license plates hundreds of times, using the information to then hunt them down. The fact that this is becoming more common and more alarming, and the fact that it's not just their exes, these cops are now being found to be actively stalking via the Flock cameras. This Missouri officer ran one woman's license plate over 300 times. Another officer in Florida running another woman's license plate multiple times, then planting an air tag on her, and then tried to get his colleagues to help him on stakeouts to continue to stalk her. This MPD officer wasn't even using it to track ex-girlfriends or current girlfriends. He was simply using it to track any woman he was interested in via the Flock cameras. This 35-year-old officer was found to use the Flock system to stalk his wife, his mistress, and his romantic rivals. There are now lists being put together of the amounts of cops who are using the Flock system not to fight crime as it was intended, but what they're calling romantic stalking. This isn't even happening in certain towns or a handful of states. This is actually occurring across the country, the top 7 states being Florida, California, Wisconsin, Georgia, Kansas, Texas, Arizona, where these officers aren't just stalking women, they are stalking men too.